Good morning to everyone. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. God bless you all on this last days of November. Today it is November 22nd of the year of 2023, almost finishing the year, almost ending the year. It has been, until now, thanks to God, it has been a great year. And I much appreciate all of our audience that has been completely supportive of everything and everywhere that we go. It's just an unbelievable thing, the enormous support that we are receiving consistently and constantly from you guys. I just cannot say thank you. But without further ado, let's hit the topic that today it is one. I wanted to do a sit down and talk about this new president of Argentina that is called Milei. You guys seen that also the former president Donald Trump has congratulated Milei because Milei, for a lot of you guys, think that he is a conservative. Milei, he is not a conservative. He is a libertarian. A lot of us, I don't consider myself a conservative. Also, I have conservative values. I can consider myself as in the middle, centrist, or libertarian myself. But what I can tell you is that Milei has completely changed the understanding that freedom. It is his slogan. He always says "Libertad, carajo." Carajo. It is a slang language, like saying liberty, damn it. And Argentina has been going through an economical oppression. Mostly, it was transforming into a completely leftist copy-paste of what was happening in Venezuela in terms to the economy. Argentina was turning into an insecure country. Argentina was the first country, I believe, in Latin America that adopted the pro-abortion in the whole country. And before Milei, Argentina was completely changing into a really progressive, leftist, liberal, country, like the United States of America, that is changing into that perspective. Argentina had a really globalist ideology. The Pope has a lot of power, and also has a lot of induction into what Argentina does. The Pope Francis has a lot of globalist leaning, has a lot of globalist leaning ideas that were shared with the past president Fernandez. Fernandez was a president, and it is the president still of Argentina, but Fernandez was a really, I didn't like him at all. I will tell you that when he lost me was when he compared himself that the Argentinians came from Europe, the Latinos came from the Indians, and the Africans came from the boats, from the jungle. So it was really a denigrating comparison what he did, but that's the reason why nobody likes this current president of Argentina. But Milei, it is one of the most promising presidents. He's radically crazy in a way that is a positive way. His passion to change the economy, to change a country, to become a first-class world country, it is undeniably crazy, and I love it. Why? Because that's the way that it's supposed to be, not politically correct. You are for the people, you are for the country, you are in debt with the country. That is your number one objective, to become a better country. and he wants to change the whole system of education. He says that this country is spending a lot of money on gender, identity projects. And I'm going through a church, I'm sorry. Also, they're spending a lot of bills on stupidity that they're not even supposed to be spending. Meanwhile, the streets are dirty. Meanwhile, the roads are destroying themselves. Meanwhile, things are changing into a fact and into a place that is just the country is going into a third world country. When Argentina, it is an extremely promising country. It's a beautiful country, Argentina, with beautiful people and beautiful culture. Immediately, when Milei started winning, of course, he started getting attacked by leftist-leaning presidents. The first one that attacked him was, of course, the undeniable dictator, Nicolás Maduro. Nicolás Maduro put out a statement saying that he is a Nazi, that he, you know how these leftist communists, they project themselves, that he is an extremist, that he is a Nazi, and that he prays for the Argentinian people as their country, Venezuela, is at peace and Argentina is struggling. Look how hypocritical this incompetent president of Nicolás Maduro is. Of course, he didn't like him. Of course, Petro from Colombia made also negative statements about the triumph of the president Milei, and also already the right-winging, or I believe that he's not even right-winging. He's just for the people. Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, ultimately also gave out an opinion saying exactly the same thing, that this is a promising and that it's going to change the country of Argentina. Now, if we go to the United States, the former president Donald Trump congratulated Milei, say that it is going to be a change for Latin America. Look how big it is. And Milei, it is one of the most strongest, I believe, young presidents. He's in his, I think, late 40s, early 50s. He's young. He has a lot of ideas. A lot of people think of him that he's radical, that he's crazy. Let me tell you, let me compare this. You're talking about a person that is radical and is crazy because his behavior in public, it is radical and crazy. But you don't talk about radical and crazy when you have a president of the United States of America, current president, that falls on himself, that stumble when he talks, that provokes wars, that has the most horrible crisis of immigration in history of the United States of America. Also, he the worst president that ever had the highest trafficking of fentanyl in history, insecure cities, homeless cities in the United States of America. But you want to call Milei a crazy individual, right? So you have also another person that is calling Milei a dictator and a Nazi. But in his country, you have millions on an exile, a country that was the most prosperous country in Latin America, the most richest country in oil, the most richest country in people and natural resource, and also mineral resources, which is that Venezuela. And this is the president that is criticizing Milei, that is calling him a Nazi, a crazy individual. Who are the crazy ones? The ones that they're for the people, or the ones that they're against the people and they cause poverty, they cause division, and they cause war? Who are the crazy ones? I will ask to my audience, who do you think are the crazy ones? So I think in my perspective, and in my opinion, you guys know that I have never said I'm a full conservative. I have always said that. Even I said it in my network. I don't identify as a conservative, but I don't identify as I don't identify as a leftist, radical communist. This guy really, I familiarized myself with him because he's for liberty, he's for freedom. And that's the beautiful thing about it. And he's not a conservative. And he is not leaning to the left, not leaning to the right. He's a libertarian. And a lot of the people nowadays, they're libertarians. Tim Pool, Joe Rogan, a lot of these guys, they're libertarians. They believe in freedom. They believe on liberty. They believe that they believe that prosper. They believe on economy to be glorious, so people can have a glorious life and not have a horrible life of migrating through horrible places and finding another place so you can find a better life. And Milei wants to bring that. You know, I have found myself, I remember in the airport of Madrid, I was talking to this is a personal experience. I was waiting for my flight from I was coming back from Israel, and I was waiting for my flight from Madrid to Mexico City. And on that moment, you know, it's the only thing about the Madrid airport that they don't have no regular connectors. You know, you have to find a European connector for you to charge your phone. So I was searching for one, and I found one on the floor all the way to the back, and all the way to the door 70 million. I went and walked all the way down there and sat down on the floor like I always do on those airports, and then charged my phone. And as I was charging my phone, I was just watching people coming and going. Then all of a sudden, two ladies, one of them in her late 30s, the other one in her early 60s. She came over and said, excuse me, speak Spanish? And I said, yes. Do you mind if we connect our phone on the other connector right here? And I said, no, I don't mind. You connect your phone. And I said, where are you from? And they said, I'm from Argentina. I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. I said, and I joked around and I said, can you guys stop kicking our butt in soccer, please? You guys are kicking our butts in soccer. I always break the ice with a joke. And then I asked a thing. I said, what do you think about Fernandez, the current president of Argentina? I said, he has us on a crisis. He's a leftist president with leftist ideologies that he has the whole country on a crisis. The economy is just so bad. You see a lot of Argentinians migrating like Venezuela did at start. When Venezuelan people started migrating, it was the people that they were not brainwashed, that they knew where the country was heading. Who are we talking about here? The people that they had businesses, the people that they were investors, the people that they were entrepreneurs, the people that they were doctors, the engineers, the professionals. Those were the people that have farming businesses. Those are the people that they started migrating first out of Venezuela. And the reason why they started migrating first out of Venezuela, because they knew where the country was heading to. These two citizens that I was talking to in the airport of Madrid, they were telling me a lot of the investors, a lot of the economy, the ones that they were booming the economy in Argentina, they're leaving. Why they're leaving? Because they know where the country's heading to. And the country's heading to what? A communist country like Venezuela. Economy disastrous, insecurity disastrous, poverty disastrous, and no prosper by only just the 1%. Argentinians started migrating and heading out. Now, you don't see normal people of Argentina migrating consistently. Why you don't see that? Because I will tell you something. In Argentina, an Argentinian citizen will actually die on the line. They're like that. They're garra, coraje. Their bloodline is, they're so proud to be Argentinian that they will die on the line to create a change. And they don't care if they go through hell, they will go through poverty, they will go through the most disastrous, torturous time, but they will stay in their land and they will not leave until the change will come. Glorious today, as I was talking to these two citizens of Argentina, and I said, what do you think about Milei? And they said, he's really crazy, but he's not wrong. He's crazy, but he's not wrong. He's out there. He's he does a lot of crazy stuff. He speaks crazy. He's a crazy individual, but everything that he says, it's on point. It's what a country needs. They need a booming economy. They need jobs. They need external importation, exportation. They need all of that. And then they told me to be honest with you, I am going to vote for him because we need a change. That's the only guy that we have, and that's where we're going to. It reminds me when Nayib Bukele, the best president of the world now, Nayib Bukele of El Salvador came in. And when Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, came in, he started getting attacked by everybody. And they started calling him an imperialist, a dictator, a Nazi. Exactly the same thing that is happening to Milei right now. The president of the guy that is going to be the president of Argentina. Exactly happened to Nayib Bukele. And why? Because all these leftist organizations, the United Nations, all these international organizations, they live out of chaos. They live out of crisis. They need the funding. They need to create chaos and division so they can create federal funds and programs and this and that. They don't want a person that is going to correct a country. They want a person that it will be radically wrong and then create a crisis and then build it and be built like a hero. And Bukele was signalized like that. Now Milei, that is the current that is going to be the president of Argentina, it is being signalized as a Nazi. It's being signalized as a Nazi. And it is the triumph of South America. We have now, I can proudly say right now, that we have now 2 Latin American presidents that they have the balls to change a country. That they have the balls to stand up against the left and say, no, you're not taking away our freedom. No, you're not going to destroy our country. No, you're not going to destroy our economy. No, we're not changing into a progressive, mercenary country. No, we are not against God. And no, the government is not first. The people is first. As a Latino, I can tell you that I feel extremely proud that we have now a new president in Latin America, that it will stand against the radicalness of the progressive agenda, of the globalist agenda, and that he is not afraid. They call him crazy, damn it, call him whatever you want, but I support him. They call him radical, they call him this, they call him that. I do not care. He stands for freedom, and he stands for his country, and he stands for his people. You know, Buenos Aires, Argentina, they say that it's beautiful. They say that it's gorgeous. I've never been there, but they say that it has changed a lot since the economy and the disastrous government has hit those places. A lot of these places, you know, they have changed in Argentina. And ultimately, I can tell you something. When the Argentina soccer team, national soccer team, won the World Cup, everybody thought the economy is going to be boosting. It is a plus. It will grow the hopes of the people. And you can actually see when Argentina won the World Cup, the unity of people, because soccer in our countries, in Latin America, it is the thing that we breed. It is the thing that we breed in the morning, in the evening, and at night. But specifically, soccer in the parts of Argentina and Brazil, it is a whole different thing. It is a culture. It is the thing that is just when the kids are born, they're born with a soccer ball. And you should have seen, and I don't know if you guys seen it, But when Argentina won the soccer World Cup, it was a beautiful unity. They created a song. The song, they were singing it as it was their national anthem. It was a beautiful unity. They were singing every day that song, and everybody was getting sick and tired of it. But we were happy for them, because you can actually see unity in people through a sport. And a lot of the things you can see that it had to do with politics, because you can see the young kids saying, we want the World Cup. Now we want a better country. We can do it. And that was the sad thing about it. That how a prosperous country with so much talent like Argentina, like Venezuela, like Nicaragua, like Guatemala, Honduras, Panama, Colombia, why they're struggling? Why? Mexico. Why we haven't become a first-class world country that it can lead the world? And I have said this before, and I have said it again, and I'm going to say it again. Bad leaders create chaos. When they create chaos, they create crisis. Incompetent leaders, they will have incompetent people under their power. And you will not create leaders. You will create followers. What these people are going to do, Milei from Argentina, it is going to change that country, like Nayib Bukele did for El Salvador. Look how beautiful. Who would ever thought that the festival of Miss Universe will be done in El Salvador, one of the most dangerous, and it was the most dangerous country in the world at one point because of the gangs, the MS gangs. And now, because of Nayib Bukele, they have world events in their country. They have the first international library, which I can tell you, it is a spectacle of a library. Wow, it is a phenomenal building. It is incredible. Look at that. Imagine what Milei can do with Argentina, that he knows. He's an economist. He knows about economy. He's a businessman. Apparently, politicians are not doing their job, and their jobs are being stripped away from businessmen, from people that they know how to manage a country, from people that they believe in liberty and freedom. These politicians, your jobs, man, are being ripped apart and being taken away by people that they believe in freedom and liberty and the people. That's what is happening right now. To all you politicians that they're talking about Milei and calling him a right-wing extremist, a radical crazy. Look what is, I bet you, whatever you want, that country on the first year, you're going to see change like that. And I will be glad if I get the opportunity to go and walk in Argentina and see the change, and to ask the people, how has this been with Milei? Do you feel like we did in El Salvador, Ben Berquam and myself, that we went over there to El Salvador, and when we were walking through the places of El Salvador, we were asking the people, do you feel that Nayib Bukele, it is an imperialist dictator? It's like, no. Every single person, individual, the mom and pop business owner, the one that owns the business in the corner, the taxi driver, the bus driver, the taco seller, the one that has a little business of tortillas and pupusas in one corner, Every single one was talking about my president. Proud to say that is my president. The only ones that they talk about that they're right-wing extremists, that they're imperialists, are the leftists, the communists, the Marxists. And this particular, talking about this particular people, the ones in Congress in the United States, the leftists, Rashida Tlaib, radical Rashida Tlaib, radical Ilhan Omar, radical Alexandria Ocasio, they're the ones that they say they're imperialists, they're this, they're that. But look at the people. Have you walked in El Salvador? Have you gone to El Salvador and experienced the life of the changing of the people in El Salvador? Have you done that? No, you haven't. It's like these young kids in Yale University, Brown University, Stanford University, Harvard University, talking about communism. And they say that it's just, you're not educated enough. The academia teaches you differently. It has changed. Bro, you're talking about the 1900s, but you have never walked in a communist country. You have never lived in a communist country under a communist regime. And when you tell them that that is communism, they will tell you, no, that's not communism. Academia teaches you this. No, that is communism. You have never walked with people that they're running away from communism. I have walked with people from Venezuela running away from communism. Walked with people from Cuba running away from communism. Walked with people from China running away from communism. These young kids, it is the future of your country, of the United States. In comparison to what Milei it is going to do to the country of Argentina, I can only tell you that a beautiful change is coming for them. And that country, it is going to change into a prosperous country. That country is going to change into a prosperous country. Into a country with freedom and liberty. And all the corrupt programs that they were stealing thousands and thousands of Argentinian money, they're not going to exist anymore. They're going to go away. And that is where they get hurt. Exactly what is going to happen in the United States. All these NGOs that they're profiting millions out of this humanitarian crisis, and they're living out of this humanitarian crisis. They don't want the opposition to be as a president. Why? Because they live out of the suffering and the vulnerabilities of people. And they need the funding. They need the federal funding. They need anything that comes with it. And they want the destruction, they want chaos, they want the poverty. They say that they want to be humanitarian, but it's completely the opposite. It is just suffering. They don't bring solutions to the table. They bring more problems. And it is a constant, vicious circle of a non-solution. Milei from Argentina, congratulations. You are going to become possibly one of the greatest presidents of Argentina. And I'm telling you this. Laugh about it. Say Oscar's crazy. He's really a right-wing extremist. He's a white supremacist. He's a conspiracy theorist. He's creating hysteria. Here's a fear-monger. He's so transphobic, homophobic, pronoun-phobic, fat-phobic, pronoun-phobic, and also he's every phobia possible. He is a bigot. He is a fascist. He's a racist. He's a narcissist. And he just went to Israel. Oh my God. He is a Zionist. Yes, we understand your language. We understand how you defend yourself. Try to have a conversation with those terms. You don't have nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. If we sit down on the table and we bring facts, try to have a conversation with those terms. The conversation will go nowhere. It will go down the toilet. Because you cannot have a conversation without that. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. I'm Oscar Blue for Real America's Voice News. In the case of Mexico, elections are coming in the next incoming year. Eduardo Verástegui, you guys know who he is. He's a conservative Catholic, and he's running on the independent spectrum against a really hard leftist opposition that is a woman that is possibly and sadly going to be the president of Mexico. And I'm praying that she is not going to be. And on the right-wing political party, we have another woman that I don't think that she has the capabilities also to become a president. So we have two on the left. We have a radical progressive woman that wants progressiveness in her, if she wants to become president. On the right-wing political party, we have a right-wing political candidate that I don't think that she has the capabilities to become a president, but a lot of the people say that she has. And you have an independent that is Eduardo Verástegui, that he's a conservative, and that he doesn't receive that much support because he is a really dedicated and devoted Catholic. So it is going to be really strong elections. The only thing that I can tell you is that right now, Argentina, it is booming, it is shining, it is so full of hope, and the people are so excited that there exists a huge possibility of becoming a great country again, and people returning home again. How beautiful is that? Imagine that. How beautiful is that to just say, oh my God, the country's good again. Mom, I'm coming home. How beautiful. How beautiful is that? There's no reason why I should be living in a foreign country. I can go back home. How beautiful is that? Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? And combine it, Argentina president, combine that with the national soccer team being a world champion. Combine that. Can be leaders of the world. The United States is going right now through a process that is, whether they stay on the left and the country gets destroyed, because that is what they're doing. They're destroying that beautiful country. And multiple presidents have said this, that the United States is being attacked by within. Nobody from outside it is destroying the United States. Nobody. Nobody. What is happening at your border, a lot of people signalize the migrants, they signalize the people that are coming in and they want a better job and they want a better opportunity, but you don't signalize your own government. Your own government, it is the one that is doing this. It is the one that is bringing these policies. It is the one that it don't respect border laws. It is the one that approved to be a collaborator of the Global Compact on Migration, to give the power to the United Nations so they can have the power on your borders, not nobody else. Why we're blaming people that they're coming for an opportunity and they're being let in? Oh, they're entering illegally, Oscar. They're being admitted, embedded through your country. Your government is doing it. If your government is allowing it, it's because they're sending the message to the world that it's okay. That is the way to enter your country. Us, that we have a different perception of entering into the United States, that we were born in the border, we know that there's a process, we know that there's documentation, we know that there is a way to enter. Everybody has a right to migrate, but there's a way to enter. Us, that we were born with that idea. Now the new ideology of migration through a border, according to the Biden administration, it is through a jungle, it is through a sea, it is through a desert, it is through the horrible travesties of possibly losing your life in a jungle like the Darien Gap, possibly getting trafficked, kidnapped, and robbed, possibly the women getting raped, abused, or be an extortion. And then when you get to the border, cross a river and you will be admitted, embedded into the United States. That is the process of the Biden administration, how they are handling the immigration. I did not grow up on that kind of spectrum. I grew up differently. My ideas of seeing immigration are completely different. Yes, illegal migration has always existed in these two countries, between Mexico and the United States. It has always existed, but not like this. Not like this. And the message to the world is that no borders, no walls, no USA at all, like the leftists say. So, you blame people, you blame the migrants, but you don't blame your own politicians? Come on now. Come on. You're blaming consistently Mexico. It's because of Mexico they're letting them in. Mexico's a free country. If they want to let in 100 trillion people, they can do that. It's a matter of your laws. If your laws are saying we admit these 100 trillion people that Mexico just allowed, well, it depends on you. Oh, it's because of Mexico, the trafficking of fentanyl. You're the #1 buyer of fentanyl. The buyer, it is the one that demands the seller. Who's buying it? Oh, it's because we have a lot of trafficking of children. You're the #1 the buyer of trafficking of children and pedophilia in the world. We have a problem between two countries, that they're coexisting. That's what we need to work together. Oh, it's because the cartels have a lot of artillery. You're the #1 seller to the cartel. A lot of guns are coming out from the United States into the cartel. Oh, the cartels in Mexico have a lot of money. Where the money's coming from? That is American dollar. It is coming from the United States to Mexico. I'm not blaming you, and I'm not upset saying that we don't have a problem. It's not to blame you or blame me. It's that both of us, we have a problem. We have a really vicious cycle. It is a humongous multi-billion business. One just fact that I want to throw you out there, and you need to keep this in mind. 87% of the people that are being arrested at the border trafficking fentanyl, tons of fentanyl into the United States of America, are U.S. citizens. Don't bring me that color thing. Oh, possibly they're brown, possibly they're black, possibly they were other colors, but they're not white. No. They're registered as U.S. citizens. Country of freedom. 87 point some percent of the people that they have been arrested in the borders trafficking fentanyl through vehicles, tons of fentanyl, are U.S. citizens. Why this? It's a lot of things and a lot of conspiracies and a lot of theories that I can tell you why. They're using your own people to destroy your own people. That's what I think. The country that is producing this drug, you guys know who's producing and who produced this drug, the fentanyl drug, where it comes from, is using your people to destroy your people. And it's a strategy that it has done and has been done for years. And is a reality. Meanwhile, your country, it is being denigrated and is being decreased, slowly coming and slowly becoming like everybody else's. Other ones are prospering and other ones are booming. So it is time for us to change. Time to unite. Right now, whoever supports, we need to support Milei as the new, as the new president of Argentina, that is going to be bringing, the prosper to the country of Argentina. Let's hope that the dictator of Venezuela gets kicked out, and the Venezuelan people can return back home where they belong, to their beautiful country. And one day that Cuba will be liberated from the communist regime. That's why Milei, from the president of Argentina, says, Libertad, carajo, liberty, damn it. That's why he says it like that, because he's part of the people. He's a normal citizen. He's a normal average citizen. Libertad, carajo, he says. Who doesn't want liberty? Who doesn't want freedom? Who doesn't want to have an economy? Who does not want to have a better life? I'm asking just an average, typical question. Who does not want a better life? Who does not want a better economy? I think everybody wants a better life. I think everybody wants a good retirement, to be in your late 70s or, late 60s or 70s and say, man, I just want to retire. I just want to lay down every day, wake up late in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, have a cup of coffee, go to the Denny's, the normal Denny's, have a nice pancakes with eggs, go back home, go for a walk in the park, sit down, walk the dog, have another cup of coffee, then go back home, take a little power nap, then go out, walk the dog again, then later in the afternoon, get a reunion with my friends, get a couple of tequila shots and enjoy my afternoon, and then go late night, read a book and go to sleep. Possibly in the next 6 months, I want to travel, want to go to another city, have a nice vacay for a nice 3 to 4 days, come back home. Who does not want that? You don't want it? I want it. I wish that my retirement would look like that. I believe that everybody, I still see Mexican people, elderly people working in their late 60s and 70s. I still see them. I still see my Latino people working in the farms at their late 60s. The migrants that they're coming. Imagine being in your late 60s. I have walked with people that they're in their 60s. And I say, what are you going to do? You're 60 plus years of age. What are you going to do? Just going to work. How is their retirement plan going to come about? They don't have none. They are just going to work till they die. How sad is that? The idea of a country that they have created, that you are going to work until you die. You don't have no retirement plan. There's none. You work until you die. There's no, let's give that man a rest. He has done a lot. No. Huge problem. That's why they're attacking these people. They want the chaos. They want the power. And they say that the right-wingers are the imperialists. Look what they're doing. If you don't understand what the leftists, or if you don't follow what the leftists are saying, you'll be signalized horrible, denigrated terms like the ones that I repeatedly say. Their language. You have to follow what they say. You have to be part of the club. And if you're not part of the club, you're not going to be accepted. You're going to be signalized as a Nazi, as you hate migrants, you hate people. That's their strategy. It's not working anymore. A lot of people are waking up to their BS. And the political trash that is being brought by mercenary activists from the United States into Latin America, it is not being accepted anymore. Their political trash, it is to keep it in your country if you want to. We don't want that crap over here. We have a lot of problems. We have enough problems for you to bring your political trash into our country. Next incoming elections, let this be an example that a country still can have election integrity. Number one, right now in Argentina, they had election integrity. That people voted for their candidate that they wanted to win, and the people got what they deserved. Milei is the new president. Number one, let us just emphasize that there are and there is election integrity. There can be an election where there is transparency. Number two, that the people want freedom, and they want liberty, and they want to have a good job, and they want to come home and have peace, and they don't want to be watching the TV, a disaster at the border or a disaster of protests and manifestations and constant homeless people suffering. They don't want that. They want to come home after a long day of work, after 10 to 12 hours of work. They want to come home and just possibly open a can of beer, sit down and watch a football game. That's what they want to do. The average construction worker, your average gardener, your average plumber, your average electrician, your guy that works on the crane, on the Caterpillar, the truck driver, the cab driver, the guy that cleans the schools, the guys that works underneath the sewer, the guys that work on top of the buildings. What they want to do after they come home from a long day of work, and I'm talking on the men's side, I will tell you on the women's side, after a long day of work, what they want to do is come home, come to their home, to their kingdom, where they're being accepted by their wife, their kids, come home and ultimately deal with the problems of family. What is this? Is this? Is that? After that, have their nice dinner, sit down, open the football game or the baseball game, open a can of beer, drink it, leave me alone. I want to be at peace. That's what they want. They don't want to be, after finishing a 12-hour shift, be dealing with an incompetent president that has taxes to the roof, inflation to the roof, that has a disaster of a disastrous border, that has homeless here, homeless there, that has a protest outside of your house, that has a manifestation out of your house, that you can, oh my God, tomorrow I got to go to school because now this gender thing, oh my God, my son doesn't know, so I got to teach him this gender identity thing and all this kind of stuff. I was like, oh my God, I got that now on my mind. And I don't know how to express myself, because if I don't express myself correctly, I will be signalized as a domestic terrorist. Now, oh my God, they just passed this law that we have to pay more money for this and that. They don't want that. What they want is just, you want my taxes? You want me to give you my taxes? I will give you my hard-working, earning taxes, but just leave me the F alone. I want to come home to peace, and that's it. I just want to come home, sit down on my couch, and have peace. In terms to the woman, imagine a single mom with 2 jobs, working in the diner late at night, and in the morning working at a hotel, or working cleaning, or working at an office, or working whatever. 2 jobs as a clerk, or as a consultant, or as whatever you want to call it, and even in construction, or, you know, because, oh my God, equality, Oscar Blue, okay, working in construction, or even working at a call center. Single mom with 2 kids, coming home, got to deal with the kids, got to keep them in track at school, got to have the food ready for tomorrow, have to wash the clothes, have to clean the house. You know, the kid did bad at school. They brought him a note. Hey, he has to do better at this, do better at that. Got to pay the bills, got to pay the rent, got to pay the groceries. I got to go to the grocery store, get some food, bring it back. My God, I don't have no gasoline for the car. Where am I going to get some money? Pay gasoline, pay the insurance, pay the car. My God, rent is up the roof. That's a single mom's life. Do you think that's fair for a person to come? That's life. Really, that is life itself. Life is not easy. It is hard. It is difficult. It's not just, you know, it's not a rainbow and sunshine. No, it's not. But nobody wants to come home with the problems that I just told you. Nobody wants to come home with more problems. Nobody wants to come home and say, there's a protest, they just looted, they just did a riot, there's a shooting, there's thousands of homeless right here outside of the street. Oh my God, now I got to deal with the identity gender. How am I going to explain to my kid, to my young child, that this has to be addressed like this, that now I have to name it like this, that now I have to talk like this? Inflation going up. Hey, you cannot give you the raise, Martha, because we're struggling. We're struggling with clients. Inflation is going up. Oh my God, how am I going to pay the gas? Now I'm not going to use the car. I got to use the bus now to save some money. Wouldn't it be easy to just, I'm a hardworking example, quote unquote, single mom with 2 kids. Let her do her job. Let her handle her responsibilities. Let her come home, handle her family like she wants to handle her family, because those are her kids, nobody else's. They came out of her body, and it's her right to educate her kids like she wants to. And after she finishes, puts little John to sleep and puts David to sleep in their beds, leave her the hell alone. Let her sit down at the table, have a glass of wine, and then enjoy silence. Wouldn't it be nice? But because of leftist policies, leftist governments, Marxist, communist, progressive governments, we have the complete opposite. We have nightmares. We have tireless people working tireless jobs and not earning enough to pay rent, not earning enough to have a good life, not earning enough to just have a normal life. Not earning enough to just say, you know, the average 30-year-old right now is thinking, how is he going to make it so he can provide a better life? The average 20-year-old right now in the United States, I'm talking about the United States, the average 20-year-old right now has a lot of ways to make money. There's a lot of opportunities. But they're not consolidated in one idea because it's too much progressiveness and liberalism that they don't know where to go. The average 30-year-old, it is working at a normal job or has a company or has a future now. The average 40-year-old, it is like, what is my life going to be in 20 years, man? Where am I going to head to? How am I going to die? Now you're worried about things that there are going to happen when you hit your late 50s and 60s. And even if you're going to make it. You're thinking about that. Like, my retirement, how is it going to be, man? I need to do something. Because, wow, I don't know where I'm going. And if you didn't have a plan when you were in your 20s and 30s. The average 50-year-old, my God, leave it alone. The average 50-year-old, it is so concerned about how is he going to come home and if it's going to live or not, because the level of stress that the people are going through right now in the United States is a reality. Mental illness, it is a humongous problem in the United States. It is not a lie, it is a reality. Now imagine a 60-year-old that is still working. Still going to a job and working 9 to 12 hours. Coming home tired as hell. Bones are hurting. Feet hurt. You're getting headaches. Now you got to take 70,000 pills for you to feel better the next day. And if you don't take one pill, you will be like, man, I missed that pill. I'm going to feel like crap the next day. These leftist governments, they're not providing for a better life. It's for a horrible life. What the Marxists and the communists have done, they have created an idea that you will not have a retirement, that your life is not going to end well, and that your life is not going to go through a beautiful pathway. That is what they have done. Of course, we have seen right-wing political governments that they have destroyed countries, that they have not been profitable, that they have not done their job right. And it is because of those right-wing political governments that they have stayed in power so much, and they have not done the job that they needed to do. That's why leftists have rise to the position and taken over, using the vulnerability of the suffering of people, saying, look, they didn't do anything in the past, we're going to do it now. Milei, crazy but great. You know, a lot of people call me crazy. Oscar, you're crazy. Yes, I'm crazy, but I'm happy like that. I'm really happy like that. I will tell you. A lot of people say, Oscar, you get into that jungle, you walk those places, you go to a war zone. You're crazy, man. You're nuts. I'm like, yes, I am. And I'm happy. I'm happy like that. Crazy doesn't mean that you're wrong. Crazy just means that you are a special individual with special ideas. There's types of crazy, I will tell you. Lunatic, that's a different one. But politically crazy, like Milei is, he's not too far from just being right at all. That's why the people choose him. People are tired of the leftist, Marxist, communist ideas. They do not work. They don't work. And they have never worked. God bless you. Have a great day. It was nice to have this conversation with you. I'm heading to a place where I'm already late. And sadly, I'm already late, and I'm heading and I'm late. And I'm trying to get there as early as possible, but I'm late. So, you know, peace be with you guys. Stay safe. We will see you guys in the next incoming days. I will be traveling soon. And, you know, it has been a really strong year. And I have to thank you guys for all the support that I have received and the beautiful messages that you guys have sent me. Thank you so much for everything that you guys have done. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Follow me at Twitter, X, as Oscar Blue, Oscar L. Blue Ramirez in YouTube, Oscar L. Blue Ramirez on Instagram. You follow this page already, and you can follow other pages also. God bless you. Follow RAB, Real America's Voice News, the voice of the people. Wendy Bell Radio Network, also Miss Wendy in the Wendy Bell Radio Network program. And you can follow all the platforms. My brother Ben Berquam, my brother Aden Cabello. Good people, man. All of those people are good people. They're really good people, man. Really, really good people. Have a beautiful, happy Thanksgiving. That is a celebration that they do in the United States. So I wish you the best, that you guys can have a beautiful Thanksgiving in your country. Stay safe, and like we always say, God's plan is our